hello, people, to a report on a battle, as it were. Today, we are going to be fighting the Chaos against the Imperium. Both lists are kind of soups of a couple different detachments of different Chaos forces. I have some Death Guard and some regular Chaos Marines. And then he has some Space Marines, which are Black Templar, and some Mechanicus, obviously. We're doing a Maelstrom mission, and we rolled for this long ways deployment here. So let's just jump in to these builds. So here on my left flank, I got a Death Guard battalion and a Chaos Marine heavy support detachment. And most of that Chaos Marine heavy support detachment is in Deep Strike right now, so this Predator is actually Death Guard. I got a stock 5-man unit of Plague Marines. Just nothing on them, just to fill out the battalion. I got a Predator here with a Predator autocannon, 2 last cannons. Going to be some proxying going on, but it's okay. What's happening on both sides? It's a Death Guard one, and then these are regular Chaos Marine Havocs. 3 heavy bolters plus an autocannon, because I have that model. And they're going to be Alpha Legion. Here we got a Death Guard Demon Prince. I'm using the Dark Souls of the board game models for it, because I think they look cool. And I don't really have any Death Guard Demon Princes set up at the moment. So I got the Dancer here. I believe he has 2 talons, but no wings. Neither of my Demon Prince have wings. Didn't have the points for it, but that's okay. 8-inch movement isn't the worst thing in the world. 8-inch base. Sure, they don't have fly, but it's not like they're going to be moving out of combat or shooting either. So they can't charge up big things, but with no penalty, but that's okay. And then we got another Death Guard Predator with the autocannon and last cannons here. This is an extra Rhino chassis I have that I'm considering converting it into a Death Guard Predator, because I have kind of some of these bits here, and I can just kind of green stuff it. Make it look all nurgly, like I did with this Land Raider right here. Land Raider Death Guard has 2 5-man Plague Marine units in it. Both have 3 plasma guns each, so you can give a Plague Marine unit 2 always. Just doesn't matter how many models you have, and then you can give the captain just a straight up plasma gun, not a combi plasma or any other thing. You can just give him a straight up plasma gun. So with both of them in a Land Raider, they're going to be pretty safe, just kind of walking up the board and getting where they need to go to just unleash a ton of plasma. Then I have another Demon Prince. We got Smo here. He's going to be Warlord with the 2-up armor Death Guard relic. That's really good. And he has the Warlord trait to give him a +1 to his feel no pain, pseudo roll, disgustingly resilient, whatever. So he's going to have a 4-up on that. And then here's my opponent's army. We'll be playing Matt here. He's a good guy. His Black Templars were featured on a couple battle reports over on Miniwargaming. I'll put a link to those in the description. So he's got we're kind of similar list. Oh, by the way, for my army, what's not pictured are 2 units of 3 Obliterators with the Mark of Slanesh, and a Chaos Lord and Terminator armor to teleport down with them, give them the reroll 1s. So that's my big shooty Death Star, and then his big shooty Death Star are these robots back here for his Mechanicum list, which I've fought against before, which once you give him the double shooting or and doing mortal wounds on 6s and stuff, and then you reroll everything to hit with Krell back here, it's just nuts. And he's got 2 big units of Crusaders here, so we were both doing kind of experimental builds for this battle. I've never used my build before, and he's never used his. So his thought was you have 2 big units here of chaff, basically, of Marines. Because you can make them like 20-man units. He has like 14 in each. He has 9 regular Marines, whatever they're called, and like Initiates, which are the Scouts. Plus like a plasma gun, combi plasma, and last cannon in each. And he has the like ancient banner guy right here. So whenever one of these guys dies, as you're chipping away at these 2 big squads on a 3-up, they'll be able to shoot or fight right there. So he thought that this kind of combo right here would be pretty powerful. He's got a captain right here with a Thunderhammer, Storm Shield, Jump Pack. He's got a couple dune crawlers right here. He's got Krell with his super big robed scary robot squad. He's got a 5-man unit of scouts just back here, just preventing my deep strike. And that's just one last look. Some guys in this squad are kind of up here in this building. And what he has in reserve also are some Vanguard vets, a big 9-man unit of Vanguard vets, and a chaplain to go with them, so that's in deep strike. So, I think I finished deploying first. I get the +1, and I end up going first. We're playing a tactical objective Maelstrom. I think it's the kind where it's just you have 3 in your hand at every time. Nothing else special about it. I'm using my Chaos Demon cards, obviously, because I don't have Death Guard ones. So if I get one of these, then I look up what it is in the Death Guard Codex. And I drew a lot of these this game, and they're never very good. They're kind of fluffy, like, oh, make so many disgustingly resilient rolls or whatever. But the list the way I have it, I'm not really using that. I'm experimenting with the big gun line and just very elite infantry, and only half my army is really Death Guard, so I end up just throwing all of these away. But I do get these two. One of these is in my deployment zone, so that's easy. One of which I can get to if I make a good advance roll on the unit on the left, which I do. I get a 6 here, as you can see, so I'm able to march them up with the 11-inch move and get them within 3 of that objective. The Demon Prince kind of shuffles a little bit up, now that I've kind of gone first, just to get within 6 inches of both of these Death Guard Predators, so to give them the reroll ones to hit. He's not going to be doing anything to these Havocs up here because they're normal Chaos Marines. And then these guys just start shuffling up. This guy is still not necessarily the closest. If I tried to position my Land Raider kind of so it would be the closest, or my Havocs or something else. With the whole character rule, he only has 8 wounds. That character rule is my least favorite thing in this edition. It's just so exploitable like this. But I just kind of move him up. I don't need to capture this objective, but I obviously want to just get my Demon Prince closer, but not so close that he becomes shootable. And also, yeah, dropping these guys in helps. So here's my 2 3-man units of Obliterators with the Chaos Lord in the middle. Obviously, they're Terminators, but the thing about my Death Guard army is I don't have any of the new toys. I started it in 7th edition, right before the Traitor Legions came out, which gave you a lot more options with Chaos Terminators that would also get the disgustingly resilient. You could have Havocs, and so a lot of Obliterators and other stuff I can't do in just a straight up Death Guard army anymore, so I'm going to have to ally in Chaos Marines like this. So I have one actual model, and then I'm thinking about just green stuffing these Terminators with just a bunch of guns. I know a lot of people do that for their Obliterators. So getting them down right here, I debated a little bit where to put them, but I think this bit of blocking terrain here will keep them kind of safe. So Psychic didn't do anything. I don't think I was in range of anything. And for shooting, I just unloaded all against the robots, pretty much everything, except for the Havocs, which pick off a few of the scouts here in this front squad. But I with the Obliterators and the Marcus Lanesh and shooting twice, and both Predators and the Land Raider, I take off half of these robots here. I think one of them had I took a couple wounds off this one, but then Krell fixes it just straight up next turn. So I get those 2 cards, and then I discard the stupid Death Guard one. I don't even remember what it is. And then moving on to his turn. Moves Krell up a little bit just to get in his aura range. Moves these scouts up, and then just kind of stays where he is for the most part with these 2 big chaff units. Not wanting to get too close to my Demon Princes. Still firing off pop shots with his last cannons and such. At my Predators and other stuff like that. And now that my big evil shooting twice Death Squad shot down his Death Squad is just going to be going straight back at my Death Squad, and he's going to be firing everything he has at the Obliterators I have. And then he also brings back his assault, his Vanguard vets here, his big squad. So now what he does is he puts it in his back line here, near his table edge, instead of right kind of in the middle of the board or in my back line or anything like that. And I've done this myself with my Raven Guard and my Vanguard vets, because they're very squishy. They only have 1 wound each. They only have 3 up armor. They're just normal Marines. And I mean, even with the reroll charges, maybe with the Chaplain, I think he allows you to. No, I think that's just Shrike or something. But it would still be hard to get these guys in combat with a 9-inch charge. Even with the rerolls, I found it to be just a bit of a gamble with command points or anything else. Even just a straight up reroll charges. I know statistically it's not that bad, but it just can't happen. So I've done this too, where I just put it back where they can't get shot at very easily. And then they got 12-inch movement. You could just move them up the next turn and then get them exactly where you want to be. And he wants to just come in to my Demon Prince and the Obliterators that are just assaulting his line. So it's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. I think this is actually, the last picture, he was a bit more back here, and it's actually right here. So all of his shooting, do I have a couple pictures? I think was this it for shooting? He did get I think maybe just his robots got 1 Obliterator down to 1 wound, and that was it. His Dune Crawlers shot into this back Predator and puts it down to 1 wound, but it's not dead. And then the rest of his shooting, I think, chips away 1 wound on this Obliterator and then takes out the couple and leaves 1 with 1 wound left. So not as much efficiency with his shooting as with my shooting, but I kind of alpha striked him a bit. So it's kind of understandable. And he didn't score any points because his points were all to like kill a squad or something like that, and he wasn't able to do it. He left this with 1 wound left, and he left the Predator with 1 wound left, so pretty unfortunate. I moved these on my turn, moved these guys back, just kind of in the cover, I guess. I didn't know what to do with them yet. They're just going to sit tight. This Demon Prince moves from back here to over here. I get another pretty good advance roll. Just to get him back into the fight, now that I know where his Vanguard vets are, they're not going to come in my backline, I can just start moving this guy up so he can be useful. And this Predator is done for if it's just with 1 wound left, so this way, moving it over here, I'm still within 6 inches of this Predator here. I think he took off 1 Havoc also last turn, so the autocannon went gone. Probably won't use the autocannon in the future, it's a cool model, so I wanted to use it. And then, he was waiting for me to advance more so he can get his Vanguard vets in range from his back line and jump him over his line. But I didn't feel the need to. I was pretty comfortable where I was, just sitting here and shooting at the rest of his robots. I could still see them all. And I didn't want to just charge my Demon Prince in alone yet and then just have him get counter-charged by all those Vanguard vets. So I just kind of sat here. A bit of line of sight blocking here, so Demon Prince is going to get really targeted, and I still got all my Plague Marines in here with all that plasma. So for my shooting, I kill off the rest of the robots, and I believe I take out this just entire front line here. So I don't usually like to play gunline armies like this. I know it's super competitive, and it makes sense, and why shooting is just so strong at 40k, and you can just get alpha strike like this. And that's really how I feel a lot of the competitive scene goes, is just who can kind of get off first. Not always, but if you have I guess we do have both similar armies with a big scary firing squad with his robots and my Obliterators, and I just happen to get mine off first. So this whole line is just gone now. I think only just the Obliterators themselves took out the rest of the robots, and then the Predators were just able to fire on there, plus the Havocs. And then I think the last cannons from the Land Raiders and Predators take this down to 7 wounds remaining, I think. I guess this is what I had for this last turn. I think excuse me. I didn't show the cards I drew this turn, but I think I had 2 Death Guard ones, which were just dumb. So I had to discard one of them, and then I have to wait for next turn to discard this one, and then I'm going to be waiting on defending Objective 6, I guess, which I think is in my back line. So he moves his Vanguard vets up, but he can't go too far because I didn't put my guys up, so he just kind of keeps them in the building here, just waiting for me, but I'm just going to probably just shoot at him more, and he's going to try and shoot at me more. His little commanders just kind of shuffle up. I think his little wing here, his big squad of crusaders just kind of shuffle up also. And his shooting, he takes out another oblit here, and he can't kill this oblit with 1 wound left. Just can't do it. It was really annoying him. So my turn, I unleash the plasma guys here, all that were in the Land Raider, and just to fire on his Vanguard vets over there with 18-inch rapid fire too is really strong with all this plasma. So I'm just going to be able to obliterate those Vanguard vets. Demon Prince isn't too squared anymore now that I have something to deal with the Vanguard vets, so I'm going to get him up. And I think I got the objective to like kill his Warlord too, so I need to start getting in there. Or I got like priority orders received, so my Warlord like has to kill his Warlord. Like that is what needs to happen for points. These guys kind of move around. They're just get into more shots, and yeah, the Vanguard vets just die. For a first battle report, it's honestly kind of one-sided. I did not think this list would go as well as it does. My Death Guard have been struggling hardcore. I have not been able to beat Matt and his Black Templars with my Death Guard at all. But in the few games I've played with him, which have all been really fun, this one is kind of brutal. So all the plasma and all the oblits just wipe out the Vanguard vets, and they chip away a bit more. And this squad get my Demon Prince here in a charge distance with his Warlord here, his captain. Able to get him in, but I can't wound him at all with his Storm Shield and his 3-up invols. And meanwhile, he Thunder Fists me back, Thunder Hammers me back, puts me down to 3 wounds. I was only able to pass like 1 disgustingly resilient save, which is pretty bad. So his turn. Moves his chaplain up, that was with the Vanguard vets, right behind here, so that when he charges over, I don't get Overwatch. Moves his scouts up. In his combat, I still can't wound him, or maybe I do. Maybe I take a couple wounds off because there's a bit of a dice here. And he gets me down to 1 wound remaining. He sends his guys in here just to kind of tie up my obliterators. Chaplain ends up killing some, but he still can't kill this 1 wound the guy left, and scouts just get killed by my Chaos Lord right here. So in my turn, I think when I shot my plasma, even with my reroll ones with the Demon Prince, still a couple of my plasma guys died, killing out the Vanguard vets this turn, so that's why there's so many left here. So I move away this obliterator from his chaplain just to cockblock him even more. And then now that his chaplain's out of combat, these guys are just able to fire on him. Demon Prince, I've been getting really good advance rolls, just like all game. Just 6s everything. So, but here I'm able to actually get balls deep and make a 12-inch charge on Crawl here with this Demon Prince that's just kind of been sitting in the back line. These guys also move up, put some shots onto them. So these guys, I think while I was shooting, the Crusader squad and the banner allowed him to shoot again. Then they sniped off this last remaining oblit, so rip in peace. Now this plasma is able to take out that the chaplain, just overcharge that shit. These guys are all wiped out. For his 12-inch charge, I roll an 11, which is pretty damn close, but it wasn't good enough. And then I wanted to kill his Warlord, so we did our Warlord fights. I still couldn't wound him, but he kills me, and my mortal wounds causing with the with the special relic armor, which I may not have been doing at first, so maybe that was just my bad, but we ended up killing each other, and we just called it game. So well played to Matt. It was a worthy try with the large Crusader chaff with the or big screening units that kind of have a bit more utility, since you have different weapon options with Space Marines and stuff, and the gunline Mechanicus in the back. But I was not expecting the Alpha Strike from the Obliterators to be so strong with the shooting twice. So now my Death Guards seem kind of viable if I kind of use this in conjunction with it. So I'll probably be doing that a bit more in the future. But that's it. The Chaos Lord also killed scouts or whatever, and we just kind of called it here. He wasn't getting points, and I just kind of killed a lot of shit. So that's it. That's number 1. Thanks for watching, and I'll be around more with others, I am sure.